Robin, to start off with, tell me a little bit about HDS, because I believe there's HDS Securities and HDS Personnel.
Yes, there is. HDS Personnel has been operational in the port for over 22 years now. They deal with more of the operational side with the port for drivers, from cars to tugs to forklifts to straddle driving, over to labourers within the port, to working at the cruise terminal where we would be bag handling, buggy driving. So it's quite a mixed variety of work that we do on the HDS personnel side. The HDS Securities was formed in 2003, where we do all the security for the Port of Tilbury under the ISPIS rules and regulations that were enforced from the incidents that happened in 2004. And again, obviously the training and everything that they do within the security side is totally different to an external security outside. The laws and everything are totally different inside the port.
How long have you been here?
We've been here now as a company over 22 years. I've been involved with HDS since 2003, where I've grown within the business myself.
And how has the company grown?
The company has grown from reputation of inside the port. We work with a lot of different customers inside the port, both on personnel and on securities. But we've also grown outside of the port with other ports like Searoad ports and DSV road haulage companies, HT Drinks, RT Rates in Grays. So we've grown the security part of the business more outside of the port, and personnel have mainly stayed within inside the Port of Tilbury.
So in a general figure, how many people do you employ?
We employ just under 500 people.
That's almost like a hidden statistic, isn't it? You've got a company here, you know, in your building here, and you've got 500 people employing, so how does somebody get a job with you?
Very, very difficult, because if people don't know where we are, they find it very difficult to come through the gates of the port. We have tried to advertise, send leaflets out, and do lots of other things. It's not worked really well, because again, I think a lot of people see the port as a closed off area, and it's not. It's actually a thriving business for everybody in here. It's absolutely colossal for what goes on here in the port, and people can come in, and we'd love to see more people coming in here. They can come in, they can have application forms. We can do it all online as well through our web pages, so they can contact us through our web pages as well, which we have found recently is working a little bit better than people coming in. They get to know about us from the web, and then they make a contact with us through there. We send them the information, and then they come in for an interview because they know where to come then. Signage and everything else we've got up to direct people into us, slowly but surely.
Career development in any company is always important. That people like to come to a job and like to know, I think I might be here for 2, 5, 10, 20 years. What journeys of career development would you signpost as successes?
Without a doubt, we got several people, more than several people, who have started off with us as an employee and worked with us for maybe 2-3 years, and then obviously progressed by being taken on by the port. We see ourselves as the stepping stone for people coming into the port, going up into the Port of Tilbury. And there are several people working within the Port of Tilbury management structure who used to be our operatives. We've also got people, I could use for an example, 3 or 4 people this year. They were working with us for 4 months. They'd done such a good job at where they were working, and they proved themselves so well, they were actually taken on by the port, and now they're working full time for the port. So it does happen, it happens regularly.
So whether it's personnel securities, what type of clay, if you know what I mean, if I'm not sounding too vague, what type of person are you looking for?
We're looking for somebody who's adaptable, and somebody who wants to work. It is a hard environment out there. You can be in all weathers, so you could be out there 1 minute in nice sunshine, which is fantastic, to freezing cold weather. So you need somebody who's very versatile, somebody who wants to work and learn about the port, because there's not just one area where they can work to. There's several areas that they can learn. There's several areas of plant equipment that they can learn about and work with. And also they'll learn about the products and everything that are coming in and out of the Port of Tilbury as well, which will allow them to progress. We also do a lot of training with our staff, and the training is vitally important for us. So we do push that heavily.
And with training, does it come with certificates?
Yes,
have that?
Everything is certificated of. We've got our own RTBI trainers based here, but we also work very, very closely with the Port of Tilbury's training department, the training academy, and we obviously see eye to eye and things. They advise us, we get training programs with them, so we learn a lot from them and vice versa, and we all work together very closely.
So what's your message to people in Thurrock who think there aren't any jobs in the Port of Tilbury? What's your message to them?
There's definitely jobs in the Port of Tilbury, and we are looking for a variety of people, from men to ladies. Ladies actually statistically have been proven that sometimes they're better drivers than the men, in driving the cars, to driving obviously tugs, to driving even straddles, and we believe that ladies are vitally important to that, and we've got all kinds of shifts that can work around that for people. We've got obviously shifts where we try to sometimes match it around school times, because some people can't work because they have kids, but we try to work all our shifts around people as best we possibly can.
Do you have an apprentice scheme, and if so, are they out there working?
Yes, we do have an apprentice scheme. We actually work very, very closely again with the Port Logistics Academy, and we've actually at this present moment got 24 apprentices working for the business, learning all different set skills out there at the moment.
And you should say success?
We have seen it to be a success. We've already had 5 of our apprentices taken on into full-time positions from their apprentices finishing.
And a fair day's pay for a fair day's work for apprentices?
Yes, definitely. Obviously, they get the rates that the Port pay us, and we give them those rates, and they see from their apprentices' money to obviously what they're on now is totally different.
I'll just wait out.